Well, hello there, YouTube Success Podcast. Welcome to another episode. We're talking about a couple of things here. Largely, we're going to talk about shorts, but I just wanted to say, if you're watching on YouTube, what do you think to my new setup? I assume you've not seen this new setup, but you may have. I may have talked about it before as well. I just forget all the time what I'm talking about on this podcast. But the way I see it is, if you come into a podcast at a different episode, you may not have heard it already, so I may as well just repeat myself over and over and over again. Sorry for those of you that have listened to all the episodes and you're like, Matt, you're talking about the same stuff all the time. Well, I may have talked about the Shorts Challenge, but before in an episode, and it was probably a little bit of a promo to say, hey, go to shortschallenge.co.uk and you can get involved in the 28-day Shorts Challenge. But what I wanted to do today is talk a little bit about the effect Shorts has had on all the platforms, and I wanted to give you a little bit of a secret tip and a hack that I found recently, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to tell you about that later on. But before we get into that and before we talk about shorts, I just wanted to talk to you about the podcast in general. Right now, we're sitting on about 1,500 downloads of the podcast since we started, and one thing's happening that firstly I'm really grateful for, but also I was a bit surprised about. And the thing that's happening is, the more people I talk to, the more people that come towards me from whether they connect to me on Instagram or on Facebook, or they're joining groups that I've got, or I've got a membership, a little group membership for business owners. The more people I talk to, the more they're saying, Matt, I listened to your podcast this week, or I've been binge watching, binge listening. I don't know what the term is. Your podcast, and I'm just delighted, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of those of you that are coming and you're listening to the episodes and you're paying attention and you're consuming all the things, because your desire to start or to grow your channel is deep rooted and you're like, this is it, I'm going to do this year. And you're coming and you're consuming this stuff, and I really appreciate it. What I will ask you though is, if you do like it, please go to whatever platform you're on and leave like a comment, a little note to say review, really like it. Remember, I said in the last episode, I think it was the last one or the one before, leave a 5-star rating, 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10 if you, depending on the platform. I assume they're all 5 out of 5. I just don't know. But if you could, or share it with a friend, share this with someone that you think would be interested in this stuff as well. So that's it. But I didn't expect that effect of a podcast. I just wanted to do it to be consistent. I wanted to be able to have another kind of video published on my YouTube channel, something that would keep the momentum going and keep me consistent. And this has really done that, which leads nicely into the Shorts Challenge as well. Because what we did with the Shorts Challenge is we started it on Monday, the 8th of January, and we're about a week in. To be honest with you, I've not been majorly consistent with it. I, just like the group of people doing that challenge, have found it difficult even to do a 1-minute video. Can you believe a 1-minute video is difficult to do every day? I've not done much planning, all of that kind of stuff. So, of course, I've fell into some pitfalls. But this is not a negative episode. This is a positive episode, because I wanted to tell you about some of the positive things that have happened. The first thing is, I did 5 or 6 days in a row consistently. And then I looked at the stats across the platforms. And now this is not going to be mind-blowing. You're not going to be like, oh my God, Matt, you're so viral. You're so viral with your 2,500 views. You're not going to be like that. But the way I see it, and the way I lead my life as a YouTuber, as a video expert, as a business owner, is when you see those people that have got 1 million subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, they didn't get there overnight. There's unicorns, of course. There's some of them that happen to publish. Somebody told me yesterday about a guy that's got 14 videos and he's on almost 1 million subscribers. Of course, there's times where you can blow up, and I do call them unicorns, and because it's so unlikely. And I think you can prep as much as you like, but if you said to somebody, I've got a video and I know it's going to go viral, I think you're probably lying. There's no way you can know. I'd even go as far as to say Mr. Beast couldn't say that. The problem, the advantage he has is he already has a whole view of, a whole brand equity is built up of viewers that will consume anything he puts out. Whereas he didn't have at the start, and you won't have at the start either. So when I'm sharing this stuff and I'm sharing the results, don't sit there and go, these numbers are pants. Kind of prefacing all of this to kind of say, please don't tell me the numbers are crap. Because I'm looking for percentages of growth, and I'm looking for what positive impact does it have, and what can I learn from this to do next time. Okay, how can we improve? All YouTubers that are sensible, that are anywhere on their journey, will always say, if you can just improve by 1%, by one point even, from this video to the next, or from this piece of consistency to the next, you will get there in the end. Right? And the end might be 2 years, it might be 5 years, it might be 6 months if you're super lucky. Maybe strategically lucky. Okay, so what happened then? So I published 5 videos, one after the other, and I published them across all the platforms. Now, if I go and take a look in YouTube, I'll go and look right now, and we'll just take a look at some of the impact of this. And like I say, the numbers are not amazing, but I want to give you some context about it. So for the most part, a lot of the videos I did didn't really land very well at all. They got into the first test that each of the platforms do, and they said, okay, we've tested it with 300 odd people, it's not got viral potential, and so we're not going to test it into the next group. So if you don't know how it works, they test you in a small group, maybe 1,000 people, see how it's working. If it passes that test and more people watch it, they'll then put you in a group of people that are 1,000 to 50,000, and then after that 50,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to 1 million, and so on and so on. So they test you first. So if you're stuck in sort of the 500 or less views range, it's because you can consider that your video didn't pass the test. The algorithm tested it and the test failed. They said, no, actually this has not got the potential that we think it has, which is okay, because actually during that test you can still pick up views, and you can still pick up subscribers and all of that good stuff. So there's a guarantee that they will test it. Now, if you're sub 100 views, it might be that it's either not been tested yet, or there's something else going on. It's very unlikely that you'll get anything less than a couple of 100 views. So if I take a look at my analytics for the last 7 days, so shall we make this a bit more interactive to show? Oh, it's just dropped off now because it's just gone over 7 days, so my stats are even less than they were. Can I do a custom range? Yeah, let's do the last 10 days then. I definitely started on the 8th, we know this, and so we'll go from the 7th to the 17th to today. I can't show you, so I'm going to just talk you through it. So new viewers, this is people that have never seen any of my content before. When I started doing the shorts during that period of time, I had 1,800 new viewers. Now, if you think about this, this is with the shorts. We had 1,000 with the long form content as well, which presumably is the podcast that we're putting out. So we had 1,800 new viewers. Now, the way I described it to someone yesterday is I said, imagine you could go and speak in front of 1,800 people at an event. Like, you'd be amazed by speaking in front of 1,800 people. That's 1,800 new viewers. And then we had returning viewers. So there's about 352 returning viewers. So this is probably subscribers. It's probably people I'm connected with that have not subscribed yet, but they've probably consumed quite a bit of my content. And so the total views was 2,500. And I got a couple, just a 2 or 3 extra subscribers, right? So the numbers are really low. But this is 5 minutes, 5 minutes of content across 5 days. So 1 minute of content across 5 days. To me, that feels really encouraging. That feels to me like my test for the Shorts Challenge has resulted in some positivity. Now, if I take a look across this, across the other platforms as well, if I take a look across Instagram, and if I take a look on TikTok, I'll also find that I've had this similar sort of impact as well. So let's focus on Instagram Reels first. I had 5 videos that I posted, and these are the numbers from oldest to newest, right? 91 views, 118 views, 297 views, 80 views, 59 views. So I'd say they probably didn't work very well on Instagram. I wonder if the audience is different on Instagram. I've still got 1,000 followers on Instagram, so they're people that know me. there'd be plenty of people there that would have seen that, would have known me, but they didn't work very well, those videos. So we need to tweak the style of video, I think, for Instagram. Now, if you look at TikTok, with those same videos in the same order, it was 506, 380, 316, 347, 357. So I'd say that TikTok is probably giving me a bigger test audience to show that to. Again, it didn't think the videos were worthy of being viral or getting more viewers beyond the first 1,000, but at least it tried with a couple of hundred people. So again, just need to tweak the content. We need to try and find better hooks or do something different to improve that. It's also saying to me, now this is an interesting thing because I'm aiming for a minute. Potentially, TikTok is moving beyond the 1 minute point, because it's telling me there, try videos longer than 1 minute. Viewers spend 90% more time watching longer videos, 90% more time. So is it now that TikTok is saying, actually, we want longer videos? So how can I build that into my strategy when I really want to do 1 minute videos for YouTube Shorts? Okay, interesting point, I think. But then what's really interesting, the most interesting thing about all of this, when I was testing this, is Facebook Reels. Because I didn't know Facebook Reels existed. I thought when I published to Instagram, it would publish to my Facebook Reels as well, or story or whatever. Wasn't really sure about it. So, and somebody had mentioned to me, I think it was Austin, one of our speakers at TwoFest, Austin Armstrong. He said to me a little while ago, he said, Matt, Facebook Reels are killing it. Like if you put content on Facebook, they're really paying attention to that. They're really doubling down on that. So if you were going to do anything, you should do those. And of course, I just ignored him. Like all people I ignore with this good advice, I just ignored him and did what I wanted anyway. But here's the results. And I only posted 3 videos, and I didn't even know really that I did it that way. And so I didn't really put any effort into it as well. So I don't think I did I wonder if I can see. There's no real cover photo there. They have got captions on them, to be fair. But of the 3 videos I had one that's 500 views, one that's 1,500, and one that's 165. And the benefit that that's had is I've had more people then start following my profile on Facebook. And if I'm really truly honest, the thing that I need the most, because I sell the most on there, is Facebook followers. I need to build that audience up. Now, Austin is a great example. Austin has 960,000 people following him on Facebook. So it should have been a good indication, because he's rebuilding his TikTok and a few other things as well. But it's a good indication of how much you can use Facebook Reels, not Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, to increase your followers, which then, of course, you can move those followers to other platforms as well. So I think, in summary for all of this, and I hope this has been useful for you, please do let me know. Find me on the socials and let me know if you've managed to watch this episode. I think, in summary, that I need to continue to create shorts content. This is my self-talk now. I'm talking to myself. Matt, you need to continue to create shorts content. I think it's a great experiment. I need to focus on Facebook Reels as a platform to create more of this content. I think possibly I've got more brand equity. Brand equity is when you first go out in the world and start a business, nobody knows who you are, what you deliver, or whatever. As you deliver value to people, they have goodwill for you, right? And you start to build up some brand equity. So I think possibly the reason why it's working on Facebook more is because my audience on Facebook of a couple of thousand people already know, like, and trust me. The audience on YouTube doesn't really know who I am yet. Even with what am I on? Almost 3,000 subscribers. The people on Twitter, the people on Instagram, they don't really know who I am yet. They're still getting to learn that stuff. Whereas I've got a lot of brand equity on Facebook. So it's potentially why it had that viral, 1,500 viral. It's not viral, is it? But why it had a bigger audience, even though some of those were new followers. So I need to double down on that. And I think really I just need to continue the experiment, because that's what the shorts challenge was for me, really, was an experiment. What results could I get if I was consistent? Of course, I fell off the wagon after 5 days, and I need to get back on it today. So I'm going to start right now after this filming this episode. I'm going to go and film another short and make sure that I look at, and this is the last thing I'll say on this episode, is make sure I look at what I'm consuming, what is hooking me in, and do some research. What's hooking me in, what's interesting to me, what's keeping me watching the videos, and try and create more content that's like that. I love doing the listicle type content. So the 3 best video editing tools, the 3 best cameras, the 3 best whatever. I think they're really good. When I've looked at Austin's stuff, when I went to Social Media Marketing World, he said, look, just copy me, do what I'm doing, because it's working. He does listicles around AI tools. Obviously, AI is hot topic at the moment. But I want to keep it around video. That's my expertise. That's the thing that I want to get a bigger audience on. So I'm going to keep it around video, keep it around editing, content repurposing, all that kind of stuff, and just focus on the listicles. So again, in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to report back, and I've set myself up now because I have to come back to you and report back by the end of January. Again, not making this at all evergreen. All right, thanks so much. Really appreciate you listening to this episode. Don't forget to leave us a review and share it with your friends. All right, that's me, Matt Hughes, King of Video. Take care for now. See you next time.